So tell us, MC Brodz, how'd you get started in rap?
Yeah, so as a kid I always loved hip hop. I started actually, I got really into hip hop features on pop music as a kid, because like my parents would have the radio on or whatever, and I always used to love like a good feature, you know, like from rap, like Kanye West or whoever. And yeah, I used to like love those features, and then I fell in love with the Black Eyed Peas, and then I really loved the Black Eyed Peas and kind of like pop rap and what was happening in the mainstream. And then Eminem dropped Recovery.
Oh yeah, nice.
I think I was like 11 or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I just loved Recovery. Not Afraid really got me. Yeah,
that was a good track.
That was the first one I heard on radio, and then I just fell in love with it. And then I discovered like, oh wait, like Eminem's got this whole discography I haven't seen before. And he's got this whole discography I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And I just went back and just listened to all his albums, and then from there I got into like old school hip hop, and I fell in love with the culture. Learned all the stories, watched all the documentaries, and I just fell in love with it. And then as I got a bit older, the new school stuff started coming out. Like the new age dudes, like Gambino was young then and stuff, and like Kanye was doing his thing.
Gambino's pretty dope.
Yeah, love Gambino. And then when those dudes started coming out, like the Kendricks and stuff, I started falling in love with all the new stuff that was coming out, and I became like a full-on hip-hop head. And then from there, I always wanted to write raps, and I started writing raps when I was in primary school. And they were never good or anything.
None of them start out, man.
That's right. And then I went to a school called Northern Adelaide Senior College.
Okay.
And they had this program going where you could get your English credit for like year 12 or whatever through writing raps and recording yourself in this program called Hip Hop School.
Cool.
And a few of the guys, it was right connected with like Northern Sound System. And a few of the guys down there would come in and like help the kids like write raps and record themselves and stuff, and that's how I got started. And then I made a mate through there, and then we started going to his house, he had a home studio, and started recording. And then from there I met my homie Will, who's been producing my tracks for like 4 years now. And then I started booking his studio because he's freelance at Northern Sound System. And then ever since then I've just been making music, doing my thing. I've been trying to get a bit experimental with it, do something a little bit different, and I think I can bring like something really cool to the culture and give people something that they've never seen before. So,
yeah, sick, man. I mean that to me is what hip hop's about. I mean,
and I think everybody's got their own, like hip hop isn't one set thing. Hip hop's like a lifestyle. Hip hop is like everybody's got their own thing to give to it. And I just don't get like all the like the old head new school like debate and stuff. I think like I think it's whack. I think there's so like everybody's got their own take on hip hop. I know it can be a bit like
controversial maybe.
And like they can really like they can really dumb it down for the mainstream, but there's some good stuff out there in the underground. Like there's a new artist coming up that's super dope, and even Australia and Adelaide in particular has got some sick artists coming up.
Who's some of the artists in Adelaide that you got your eye on?
Ocean Eyes down at Northern Sound. She's really good. Oddest down at Northern Sound as well.
I've heard of Oddest.
Josh, he's a good dude. My homie Jack. He's making something really different actually. Like he's getting really creative with it.
Cool.
He sent me a track the other day, and it was he was like rapping off beat on purpose and stuff like that, like getting real different with it. He's really experimental. He really inspires me to get a bit different with it.
What's he go by, like rap name?
My Soul's Trash.
My Soul's
He's changed his name so many times I can never remember which one to like shout out anymore. But there's heaps of good artists around.
Are you familiar with Coxie?
Nah,
he's a good guy.
That's the dude with the dreads. Hey? He's sick.
I've actually got a track with him coming out on my album. It's fucking insane.
That's dope.
That's what the track's called. I was sitting there one day just fucking around, and I wrote my verse, and I was like, where do I go with this? I had a hook and everything done, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna hit him up and see if he's keen. And he's like, yeah, man. A couple days later, boom, verse done. I was like, sick, man.
That's rad.
Fucking you're right. It's just
especially like getting into it. I've noticed that like so many different people do what I do, so many different people rap, like, and there's a real community for it too. Like,
definitely.
like Joe, what's it, the UGR movement and stuff? Have you been down to all that?
With
Cool B?
Cool B, yeah.
I played there a couple times.
Yeah, I did back when in the original venue before they got kicked out.
Oh, cool.
Because some dudes were sneaking drinks in.
Yeah, I was there that night actually.
Oh yeah. No.
Tara Baker is a local lashes and brows expert. She does eyelash extensions from classic, hybrid, all volumes, and from pre-made fans to handmade. Can also do custom lashes by request. If you're looking at pampering that special someone or maybe something for yourself, give her a call on 0402 476 583. That's 0402 476 583. Proudly supporting the Sample TV.
So when you're saying before, you kind of what caught your ear originally was the kind of pop features. Like, is there any particular track or artist that really stood out in those early days?
Kanye West on features.
Yep.
And then T-Pain.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole 2007 like era, like T-Pain, Kanye, and Lil Wayne's features. Like Lil Wayne's done thousands of features.
Yeah.
Will Fumato.
Yeah.
Have you met him before or?
Oh, Will.
Yeah. I feel like I get along with him so well, and we've just become like good homies over the years. I feel like I came into the studio like at 17, and like I'd never properly like rapped outside of like goofing around in that like class and stuff. This was my money and I was paying for it, and I just wanted to get like a good product. And he like almost brought me out of my shell and guided me into like creating something that I wanted to create, because I was so in my shell. And
that's the son of a good engineer, man. To bring the artists out of themselves and give them the best performance. So,
and what he did with my like voice on Happy Ending as well. Like I was really worried about how I'd come off singing, because I enunciate heaps. And he like cleaned it all up so nice, and he made it sound like I was just like floating over the beat. Sick, super dope.
Tell me a bit about Happy Ending. Like, how did that come about? Because I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people out there would know the connotation of Happy Ending in the kind of the seedy underworld of the city. But yeah, how did that track come about, and what's the idea behind the title?
So Happy Ending came about. I was in a relationship with this girl, and then things kind of fell through, and we kind of like, I don't know, like when you're young, like you promise you'll be together forever and stuff like that. And then
even when you're older, you still do that.
Exactly right. And you kind of like think it's just going to be like a fairy tale, and obviously things went wrong, and then I was out of that relationship, and I kind of like used that song to almost, in my mind, the fairy tale, like meeting someone and stuff and like being with someone forever, sort of like dream and fairy tale kind of like crash down. And Happy Ending is kind of like what you want. Like happy ending is like if you live happily ever after. So happy ending kind of means like forever and ever, and I wanted to use that like it was a happy song, and then kind of use that like, looks like we will never have our happy ending. And then I wrote that, and I was like, I don't want to call the song Happy Ending because I'm worried people think about like Asian like massage parlors, and I've got on a bit of that, but I was like, I don't know what else to call it, so like I was like, nah, stuff it, we're calling it Happy Ending. But
it's cool because like I like when there's a double meaning to titles. Even if it's not always a positive meaning, the other side of it, it draws attention and it gets you noticed. So people are some people might listen to it expecting to be about some sort of massage, and then realise that it's actually a lot deeper, goes deeper than that. There was this guy I knew years ago, and he had a track, I can't think of the title now, but it was the words, it was kind of a bit like, I don't know if you know the song by Britney Spears, it's called If You Seek Amy. But if you listen carefully, the way it's said, it's F-U-C-K.
True.
But the song, and he had a rap song that was similar kind of,
wild.
I love that kind of like, double meaning kind of, kind of shit. It's like fucking...
I can't remember the name of the song, but Kesha did something similar when I was a kid, and I was like, what does that mean? Some sort of like really nasty play on words.
Oh god. So Happy Ending was about a relationship and how it didn't go well and didn't end up with a happy ending. What sort of other things inspire you when you're writing?
All sorts. I'd never actually spoken on relationships up until this point ever. I'd like chucked a couple lines in there maybe, but like I'd never properly talked about the subject. And I think that was something I needed to do as well, because I almost like needed to do Happy Ending to heal from things that the track talks about. So it really helped me heal. But other things I've written about, usually I just wrote about like the struggle, my everyday life. I really like to focus on mental illness. Because I suffer from depression, anxiety, etc. And it's something that cripples me, and I know a lot of people, especially like in my generation now, that it's more okay to come out about it. It's like every person you meet in your life has this crazy backstory, like some tragedy has happened to them in their past. And I don't know, like pain almost brings people together as much as it tears people apart.
No, it does. There's definitely like a positive side to the negativity, so to speak.
I listen to like really sad music all the time, and my girlfriend's like, "Why do you listen to such sad music?" But like, it's almost soothing. So I feel like if I put something out that talks about something real deep,
you soothe other people.
Somebody going through that will, or something similar, can almost relate it to that and almost feel better.
Definitely. There's a saying I've seen floating around like Facebook and stuff, and they say, when you're happy, you listen to the music. When you're sad, you listen to the lyrics. Because like, you know, you relate, and it does. Knowing that someone else has been through something similar, or definitely a very soothing, especially things like mental illness. Because as you said, previous generations have really shunned talking about it and being open about it. To the point where you feel so isolated just by the fact that you can't talk to people, let alone how you're feeling from the anxiety, the depression, and so forth. So putting it in a song. Not only gets people talking about the topic, which, you know, has usually been a taboo thing, but as you said, it kind of helps people feel like they're not alone, and I think that's a really good thing. And I'm really glad to hear that, you know, you're putting that in your music, because I think that's definitely one of the stigmas in society we need to break 100%. Down and continue to work on.
I like to make myself as vulnerable as I can in my music, because every day, like, you walk out of your house and you put on like a brave face every day, like everybody does it. And I have to go to work and I have to put on a brave face, and I go do whatever, and I try and function during the day with a brave face on. But then when I'm writing my feelings and recording a track, that's when I'm just like pouring it all out. So I like to make myself as vulnerable as possible, and then other people can like completely relate to that if you're just 100% genuine. Definitely. I mean, particularly in hip hop, more so than other genres, I feel that if you don't come across as being genuine about what you're talking about, people smell that from a mile away. Like, for real. Definitely. Like, you know. I get heaps of influence from America.
It's hard not to, though. I mean, hip hop is, you know, is an American style. So
very true.
So
but it's almost kind of like I think to myself sometimes, like, am I really like, I'm not dealing with as many problems as like somebody, because they're rapping their reality and I'm rapping mine, and when you compare them, it's kind of like I feel bad almost, because they're having gun violence, but like obviously different topics. But it's hard to like, it makes me not want to put myself out there as much sometimes, because I'm like, I feel like people are just like, oh, stop being a baby, just grow up, like whatever.
Like first world problem kind of
thing. That's the word for it. But
who's to say that is any better or worse than some of the internal struggles that people deal with? You know, like, you know, no one knows what another person's been through. So, and everyone copes with things differently. So, really, like, you know, it's not a case of who's going through worse than the other one. It's more a case of, well, I'm talking about actually that I'm going through, but other people are too. So it's worth putting out there. You know.
You've got to remember that like people can relate.
Their problems.
It's like a healing, like putting it out there. All through writing, all through recording, it's just like I need to get it out of me. Like I didn't talk about it for so long, and like it was something like, it wasn't even like a recent, like that recent thing. It was like a good almost 2 years ago type thing. So it's just something I really needed to speak on, and I was so scared to like speak on it, and like I had a bit of a breakthrough with my last track, Hectic, before Happy Ending. And that was featured on some like YouTube channels, and I got an interview out of that and stuff like that. And then I was like, I need to follow up. And I wrote for 3 months, and out of all of the stuff I wrote, I didn't want to record any of it, because it just felt like I was just trying to replicate. Trying to just like put something out to follow up on the success of the last song.
Yeah.
And then I went into like a depression after that, and I met my current girlfriend earlier this year, and she kind of brought me out of that. And then I started writing Happy Ending like when I first met like my new girlfriend for some reason, and almost needed to like heal from the last one to begin this new one, and like it was just a chapter of my life I needed to close. So,
They actually do say, like my mum, she works as a counsellor, and she says sometimes it's good to write stuff even if you have no intention of showing anyone, doing anything with it. She actually goes so far sometimes as to actually, she'll put it in like a little fire and burn it. It's like letting it go. And sometimes it's like they say, you know, you've got to get the shit out to find the good stuff, like find the gold. And so I dare say that's probably what you were doing. You're writing all this stuff.
100%.
Maybe not necessarily trying to follow up consciously the success, but just to kind of filter through all that shit and find something that you can use that's going to help you take you to that next step
100%,
in the journey. So. So, speaking of journey though, what have you got coming up next? Like, have you got any sort of gigs coming up, or?
No gigs right now. I played a few last year. I did about 10. The 16th is the release date for my next track, the 16th of August. It's called Dear Jay.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a letter that I wrote to my best mate who passed away.
Oh, that's right. I remember you talked about that.
So it's the 5-year anniversry on the 16th of his passing.
Yeah, right.
And that was like a real life-changing moment for me. Everything changed after that. And I don't know, it's kind of like, I wrote this, I never wrote on the topic because every time I tried to, I felt it wasn't good enough for him.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then one day, I was actually in like a psych appointment, and then I was talking about it, and I left, and on my way home, I just started writing, just on my phone, and it just felt good enough. And then I was able to quickly like get a beat for it and just like get it done. I've actually been sitting on it waiting to record it for about like 2 months. So I'm gonna go record that soon. It's like a letter to him that I then wrote this massive letter to him, and then I turned it into a rap, just like made it rhyme.
That's
and
sick,
then
man.
like I worked out like a brand new flow that I don't think I've never heard before, like on anywhere else. So it's quite an interesting flow actually. It took me ages to like master it, as far as like not running out of breath doing this like complicated flow the whole way down.
Yeah, nice.
But
Alright, well thank you very much, man.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure, man.
Easy.
No worries.